So I'm here with Samuel Boateng. He's a tech content creator with interesting digital trends, and also Prince Safo. These are the usual suspects. I mean, they don't need much introduction. And they have been breaking this whole conversation down for the past 2 weeks, for which reason we are here to do the second part. Before we get right into it, from the past 2 weeks when you had the conversation, what were some of the takeaways? Because I was following the conversation keenly. For me, for instance, how much for when you were talking about Prince, when you were talking about the need to keep a single thread when you are exchanging emails with someone, I felt like it's something that is not drummed home enough. Because me, for instance, because of what I do, is very difficult to keep track of some of these, because we are always in different email chains, and so even with that, I see where the difficulty is. And so I was very impressed when that point came up. But what are some of the takeaways that you two had from the previous, so that we can quickly piggyback off of that?
Yeah, so I mean, basically the same things that we said. Just make sure that when you are sending an email, so sending an email or being on a Gmail, let's take it as a professional environment. And so whatever you do, you have to make sure that you are professional enough. Yes, so things like keeping one email thread. Don't start another email when you started one in the past and you want to just do a follow-up on it. If you want to add somebody to an email thread, don't make it look like you are gossiping. Just inform the rest of the people that, listen, I'm adding Sammy for visibility or for his, because at this stage he needs to be involved in the conversation. So yeah, basically be professional as possible, and also know how to go by the things that you do by the email. I think one more thing that we didn't add last week had to do with, see, sometimes you need to send an email to somebody and you need to add a link. I mean, as we speak about professionalism, it's also good that your email is clear, clear enough for people to be able to read. It's not all over the place. Checks for spelling mistakes. Don't just slap links into your email and tell people that this is the link. You can always make a word,
attach the link to
you can hyperlink a word, and attach a link to a word that people can just see the word hyperlinked and just click on it, and then it goes to the link that you want them to go to. Yeah, so I think that thing you can just do it. I think it's Control K. Just highlight a word, Control K, and then window pops up. It shows you where to put the link. You put the link there, and then you click OK, and then the word will hyperlink for the people. So let's say find the link to the document here. So the word here, you highlight it. You can even go down to the bottom where you click on send to send an email. You see a tab that says insert a link. So it looks like, you can click on it, a window will open, you put the link there, and then you click save. So the word here will be hyperlinked. It will turn into blue. So you avoid saying find the link here and then slapping the whole long link in the email. Yeah, so I think these are some of the takeaways from last week.
Let me say takeaway. Remind me of check. Well, I believe, even though email is as I said, a very formal platform, those who are still in the Valentine's season can still find love there. I remember I had a conversation with one girl on the email. I was like, before we actually moved, it was still formal though. Before we actually moved, it was in that same
love.
And even with that one, can you imagine we kept a thread? Can you imagine if you were hello, then an email will appear somewhere, another email, and blah blah blah. It's very hard to follow, right?
Yeah.
Even with the lab conversations, we still kept a thread. So the thread
this is interesting.
Yeah.
Finding love.
You should see that email. It was very weird.
What were you up to? Because it looks like you are trying to keep a very detailed record of something.
Well, you know when you go to a networking event and then you are talking to someone who is like, okay. So you're like, you can't take a phone number. Let me get your email.
So you need to start from somewhere.
You
yeah. So I have to go professional at the same time. I know what I'm doing,
Can I
man.
please have your email?
Yeah. Let me. You see the number. I be like, okay, this guy's got to worry me.
Or
Let me
you,
get
you
your
could be like, let me
email.
have your LinkedIn username or something. That's
Nah, that was a lot. Let me give you email. I'm coming. When you see the header, you know. Apart from that, I think one of the things I think we also skipped is scheduling. One of the most brilliant things that was invented in the email industry. So I have a lot of colleagues who like working the night. And sometimes they want to surprise their boss. They want to prove that they are working. So they will schedule a lot of emails for like 5 a.m. or something like that. So before you get to work, that as you're sitting in your car or truck or wherever you are getting to work, you just get pinning, like coming in and out.
Yeah.
You ask yourself, who is waking up in the
How are they
morning to
awake
send
at this
emails?
morning?
They send the emails around midnight. Yeah, so you
The
can
night
schedule if
before.
you feel like you need to get some things done and you are a night person.
Mhm.
Get up, deal with all your emails and your replies, schedule them by afternoon. If you want also, you can also time your work day. You know that this person will come and worry you, so you send this one in the morning. In the afternoon, it sends automatically. In the evening, it does this. So you know the emails that are going in a particular time they are sending them. So scheduling is very, very important.
Yeah.
Right. Those are some
So
important points.
that's to around the send button. You see that there's a drop down link. You click on it. It has a schedule, and then you just click on it and say the time, the day, the
Yeah.
date, and then
So if you are planning on resigning from your company in the next 2 months, schedule the email.
Schedule in advance.
Yeah, after you pass scattering the place, then you back your bag.
Yeah. And
Anyway.
I think this is also very good for HRs or team
Yeah.
leads or heads. Like
Mhm.
if you're a boss and you know your workers their birthdays and you don't want to, you can't remember them. You can schedule their emails, send them a very nice
Message.
recipe or something, even if
Craft
yourself
a very unique message
Exactly,
for every
and
individual.
Yeah, is there,
schedule
so
it, and so on their birthday morning, like it drops into their email.
automatically, yeah.
Yeah,
They'll
makes you feel
appreciated.
special.
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
I mean,
And it will boost morale at
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
I see where this is going.
Yeah.
So today we'll be doing two things. One, we'll be talking about some of the Gmail settings that we usually overlook. And I'm
Yes.
very excited about that part as well. And we'll also be talking about the need for organizations to get into Gmail chats or Google chats instead of just sticking to WhatsApp. I mean, it
Yeah.
can be very informal,
Yeah.
but I think there are some advantages that, are available when you decide to use the Google chats.
Yes,
And I think-
everything that is on WhatsApp is there.
yeah, and that's why I'm happy that we'll be touching on those today. But let's start with the Google settings. What's the star feature for? Like the star,
Yeah.
the star button. What are some of the things that it can do to make work easier or life easier for users?
Sammy.
Oh, okay. So usually
I'm
they,
still thinking about the email. The
He
last
just
email.
so yeah, basically it helps the organization. If you have a lot of emails coming in and you know the most relevant ones, let's say you have a technical partner you work with, someone who's very relevant to you, but maybe at that moment you could not respond, or you want to separate their emails from the rest, or a bunch of emails that you feel like are more important than the usual newsletters you've been getting. You could end up just going to the right hand side and starring them. And then when you tap on the left with the, I think they call it hamburger icon, 1, 2, 3, the 3 lines on the left hand side, that's on your phone.
Mhm.
You will see starred, labeled, inbox, blah, blah, blah. When you enter the start session, you can deal with the most important emails that you start for the day. Yeah.
Okay.
And it keeps them until maybe you unstart them. So if you are working on a particular project, let's say I'm applying for a job, okay, and I apply to this company and I'm doing some back and forth with them. I have a cluster of emails of at that time job hunting, so I have a lot
Yeah.
of people that I'm messaging, and I'm getting we reject you, we accept you, we reject you, and so on. And I don't want it to mix with the one that I'm currently working, which is very important to me. I can just start that one and continue that conversation in the start section anytime I need to get back to my email.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's-
you see, when the way emails are is that when a new email comes in, the old one goes to the bottom.
Mhm.
Sorry. Yeah. So you can start an email that you can always go to the left panel of your Gmail, especially when you're using a laptop. You see there are different tabs, like where you have inbox, send, and all of that. You see start. When you click on that, you can see the important emails that you have started. So how you start it on a laptop, for instance, when you receive an email, just at the far right side of the email, you see like a star button just next to the beginning of the email. You just click on it, and then it just
It feels
usually
right.
the default is yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But when we are talking about the setting, we'll see how you can change that color to any color that would help you. And then you can start emails with different colors to inform you about, maybe you've used red to represent something, yellow to represent something. You will look at that too. So start emails that you don't want to lose track of. You want to easily go back to them. You start it, and then you can easily go back to them. On the left panel of your Gmail, you see start. When you click on it, you see all the emails that you have started. Then you can easily go back to them. So yeah,
Right.
that's some of the importance of the start button.
And then this other button, the only other place that I usually see this button is on my alarm.
Okay, yeah. I think the snooze, right?
Yeah, the snooze button.
Yeah.
What really is the use of the snooze button?
So in the wisdom of Google, looking at emails, sometimes we forget some emails. There might be emails that we need to respond to,
Yeah.
but maybe we are trying to get some information before we respond to that email. And so maybe today I had to respond to an email, but I need an information to be able to respond to that email. And because I don't want to forget about that email, I use the snooze button, so that the snooze button will remind me. Let's say tomorrow, I'll set a time that maybe tomorrow, remind me about this email that I need to respond to it, or remind me about this email that I need to follow up on it. It also could be I sent an email, and maybe I want to follow up on it just in case the person did not respond. So I snooze it. So it's just like setting an alarm to remind you of a particular email. So that one too, it looks like the clock. It's also at the far end, like your right hand side of an email. That I'm speaking about having what's the name? A laptop. Yes, you see the button there. When you hover your cursor on the email, you see when you open Gmail, any email, hover. Don't click on it. Just hover. You see that clock sign. You just click on it, and then you can snooze your email. Yeah.
When he says Hoover, it's just pass your mouse on top of the
Without
don't go
clicking.
and do whoo or something like that. It's just moving your mouse on top of the email and just finding the icon. One of the ways you could actually use this is when you have deadlines on certain projects. For instance, those who apply for how do you call it, schools abroad. I'm just giving a typical example. You have sent an email to a lecturer in your school to help you with maybe a document, and it's, get back to me in 3 days. For you feel like I've done your part. You may sit down and relax and just forget. It's been 1 week. Meanwhile, to the school abroad is collecting the thing in. Your lecturer give you 3 days. Your school is taking you 1 week. In order for you not to forget, why don't you? In order for you to remember, why don't you just use the snooze button?
Okay.
So when the time is up, you can immediately just send a reminder email that you gave me 3 days. I'm expecting blah 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 blah. How can we do with this?
Yeah.
Right. So what about these features? So the calendar, the keep, the task. What do they really do? Are they very important in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, I think for calendar, people already have an idea of what it's used for. It's just that sometimes the ideas that people have about calendar is skewed towards a certain way. So let's say people know that you can use the calendar to schedule for a meeting, to plan a meeting, and all of that. But you can use the calendar to do basically almost everything, from scheduling a meeting, from even, let's say,
Daily
there are people that
activities.
this year, for instance, the insurance on their car, they will not even remember when it's going to expire. They will not remember when their driver's license will expire. But you can schedule all of these things on a calendar to remind you that, listen, next week your driver's license is going to expire, and then you will have problems with the police. So, I mean, take steps. And I know driver's license could be renewed even before the expiry, especially when it's just closer to the expiry, so that you take step towards it. You take step towards your vehicle insurance. You can schedule people's birthday, your loved one's birthday on the calendar so that it reminds you.
Wedding anniversary.
Yes, so many things.
So, for instance, you could, if you're someone who's like Jim and you want a weight loss plan for the year and you want to lose weight like by the end of 6 months or something like that, this amount of calories or whatever, you could set it that, okay, after 1 month or on the 16th, how much have I burnt? And then one thing that makes it very interesting is the fact that it takes over your screen. So it's not something that you can easily miss or skip.
Yeah.
It pops up on your screen. You have to now press something for it to
disappear.
yeah. So it can help you with your journey. So instead of maybe getting something that will confuse you or writing it on your board, you can write it on the board where you probably forget that it's there and add it on your phone too. So that every 1 week, how much have you gotten to? Have I lost this amount? This is the plan to lose 19. So this is the plan to lose 20, 200, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the year, you'll be able to track your progress with it reminding you every time that you set it. Yeah.
So what about the contact? Because I see, for me, for instance, like if I do not have access to my phone and I have my laptop,
you use
because it's synchronized with the Gmail, so I'm able to find some of my contacts on the laptop or other device as long as the Gmail is logged in. Is that what the contact is? That necessarily the only use for the contacts feature on the Gmail app?
Not necessarily, but it's one of the main importance of the contact. So on your Gmail interface, when you look at the right hand panel, like the side, you see what we just mentioned, the calendar. I think we didn't even talk about the keep. The keep is just taking notes, but let's talk about maybe the contact, then we come to maybe the task. The contact, you see a plus button on that side. When you click on it, it opens up a page which is your contact. Sometimes, you see, usually when you are saving a contact on your phone, you'll be asked whether you should save it on the phone or your Gmail account. So all your contact, it's important that you save it on your Gmail account. Also consider that it will take up some space. Exactly. So when you save it there, even when you lose your phone or you don't have your phone and you need to make a call to somebody, you don't remember their contact, you open your laptop, you go to the right hand side, you see that plus button, you click on it, it will open your contact for you. You'll see all the contact that you have on your phone that you have also saved on your Gmail account. You see it there, and then you can make the call, or not make the call via your laptop, but you can pick the number and do the call.
So gone are the days when you used to switch phones and your mother would get a call and write all the contacts down. Yeah, I used to really go through that. Exactly. I had a book that I had to hide somewhere.
I also have one.
Just in case. But it got to a point I realized, I don't actually need it any longer because of how contact works. So I saved all the numbers down. Anytime or any device I pick up that I've been able to log into, I just scroll and then I have my contact. So there's no point of me losing. I've lost your number. Those people that have been doing this, contact lost, DM me to. How will the person see your status? If the person has your number, how will the person see it? It's impossible. So those who already have your number are the ones going to see it. And why would they DM you?
They tell other people. They spread the word.
So it's very important to have Google Contacts, and it's the way it syncs so quickly, it's scary sometimes. I picked one phone. Sometimes I use double phones. I picked one phone, I just saved my number on it, and I decided to do something else on the other phone. I open WhatsApp, and the number was already there. I was like, when did I save it? I remember that, I have Google Sync.
That's how seamless.
Yes, it's so quick that when you pick another device and you're moving, you can send an email. It gives both emails, phone numbers, everything, addresses, and details of the person.
So if you saved it in that way,
you don't lose anything at all. Any email, any person that you just remember, I have this, blah, blah. And with that sync, you can actually link that to your calendar with the phone number. You can link it to your task. It's like a whole new world with the connections and the network and all that.
That's interesting. So Prince, can we talk about the task?
So the task too is there. You see a circle with a check icon. I think the contact you see a human being. Sometimes you see a human being icon too there. So that's the contact. Now the circle with the check icon is the task. So usually you get to work in the morning, and you have the plan for the day or the things that you want to do for the day. And if you use Gmail a lot, you don't need to now come and write the things that you want in a book. I mean, you can choose to do that, but we are teaching you the tech way or online form. So the task is there. You just click on it. It opens a side panel or a page. You just write maybe today's date or something, and then you list all the things that you want to do by the end of the day, or you can even add the time that you want to complete it and all of that. So by the end of the day, you can go back to your task and check, like, and see which one you are able to do. You can just use the check mark to check and say, okay, I did this, I did this, I did that. When you do those things, it helps you to be very productive. So I mean, if you don't use those things already, you need to try them. Especially you get to work in the morning, you want to complete a certain group of things, just put them there, and as you do it, you check. As you do it, you check. You feel how fulfilled you'll be at the end of the day when you use some of these things.
Yeah. I think for me, this would be something that I'll be taking out of this conversation, because even before I get to work, there's a ton of things that I have planned that I'm going to do. So what I do usually is I have like a paper by my side. And so because of how sporadic the system is, one of the things comes to, I just pick the pen and I write it fast, and then I move on and do my other things. Yeah. If I have the time on my hands, I just like type them on a Word document, a separate Word document, or a sticky note somewhere. And when I'm done, I cross them out. But I think this would be a better way of doing it. So I'm sure it has
more features
all along on all your devices. So I like this especially because, for instance, you are on a journey in the middle of the road somewhere, and just remember that, you have this to do at work when you get to the office. You just open your tax app and just type in whatever you need to do, and it is in your email. So immediately you open your email, you can, as you are working, for instance, someone sends you an email that, do this. Immediately you click on the task session and just input it there and leave it. So it adds to the number of things you have to do in a day. And you can add the names and contacts and all those things, so that you can easily be able to move without necessarily downloading a whole new app for your device. Especially those who are using laptops that do not have enough spaces, that your company is chasing you for Trello and stuff like that. If you can't download any other app and you want to work, why don't you just open your Google Chrome browser? Once you have your email there on the side, you can have your tasks being scheduled. It's quite simple, yeah.
That's fascinating. So all of these things are in the Gmail app.
Yes.
That one app that you have on your phone.
Yes. Yeah. No, Gmail account.
The Gmail account.
Yes.
And all the features that are linked to it.
Yes. So they work around. It's like an ecosystem around the email. So that the Gmail, that's why most people refer to it as Gmail account. It's actually Google account. Yeah. Because it's all works around it. That's why. Because if you open the first place you see the tax and everything listed on the side for you to be able to community work with, is not in your Google search. It's actually in your Gmail account. Okay. So if you want to actually have access to all these things, you have to get to your Gmail.
Yeah, so I think I think we also confuse a lot the fact that Gmail is just one thing out of the whole
package of
the Google account. Yeah. So it could be from the drive, it could be from the contacts, all of the other things that come together to make the ecosystem quite seamless to traverse. And we have some messages from our listeners out there. This one says, hello, my name is Collins in the UK. So I work in an office where I receive tons of emails. How do I get the emails arranged on my desktop properly? Thank you. Do you have an answer for him?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how you're going to arrange this on his desktop. But I think I'm getting him. We can
just use the word wrong.
Labels. There's labels.
Yes.
So if you have, like, there are categories of, I don't know if you notice this in WhatsApp. There's this labels thing for the business account. If you realize, okay, you are dealing with packaging. You have a packaging unit for people, like packaging units in your office. You have HR unit, you have this unit, you have that unit. You can use different tags on them, colors on them, so that you can label each email that comes to you. And in order for you to be able to answer and deliver your tasks in categories, you go back to these labels on the side. It's also on the left side. Instead of using just the star alone, you can label each email. Apart from that too, there's a new, it's not really new, there's a feature inside the Gmail that is able to identify important emails.
Yes.
It tries to scan through. So you realize there's this yellow label that is it yellow, right?
Yeah, yellow.
Yellow label that appears on the
Like an
side.
arrow.
Yeah, on the side of your emails
Mhm.
for very relevant emails. It tries to scan through it and identify if it's important or not.
Yeah,
And you
emails
can-
that you regularly attend to.
Yeah.
So and then also Gmail automatically by default group the emails for you.
Mhm.
So your normal email, socials, updates, and all of that. So
Mhm.
there are some, especially if you are in a company, let's say you use Zoom or Google Meet to have a call. People use AI to take notes and all of that. Gmail would take the notes that come from those things. They will not bring it to your main email. They will just put it on update or social or something. So if you want to go there, you can go to those emails. So yeah, you can explore some of these things.
And depending on the rules
The
you
star
have to,
you can also use it. Yeah.
depending on the rules you have to in your email settings, you may once in a while want to check your spam
Mhm.
because sometimes someone from outside your company, the way they write emails sometimes it's a bit disorganized and
Yeah.
it might need something from you as a business. So you just have to go there and just check. But you have to understand the language in the
Yeah,
spam.
use it.
There's a whole language in the spam category. If you open it, you should know this is wrong.
Mhm.
This is not an email that I'm supposed to click any link on. This is an email come from a client who's lost. Something like that. So you take your time and go through that. I think maybe next time we can talk about that spam language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the spam language would be a very good conversation
Yeah.
around security
Yeah.
and
Cyber
how to
security, yeah.
protect
Yeah.
your
Email.
accounts from
Yeah,
hackers and
yeah.
people who want to take advantage
Yeah.
of all.
Now they are even able to force themselves into your main
Yeah.
inboxes sometimes.
Yeah.
If you have to even understand it outside
Mhm.
to be able to label it spam, so that next time the Gmail can see it
That's
and
fun.
pull it away.
Yeah, and
That's-
also, there's nothing wrong with muting certain emails that has nothing to do with you, but you have just been copied in it or tagged in it, and so you just keep getting emails upon emails that the thing has nothing to do with you. You can always mute it. Just go to the email. There are 3 lines or dotted lines on the side. Just click on it. It will open a box. Just search for the mute and mute the email. You don't have them in your email. It will be there, but it will not send you notification and all of that. Yeah.
Right. Need I remind you that this is a conversation on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Geek Squad. I'm here with Samuel Boateng, tech content creator, and Prince Safo, who is our usual suspect over here, producer of the show, actually. And Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. Now we are at a very interesting point in this conversation. We talked about the fact that we're going to show you certain things, certain features that come with your Gmail settings that you can actually take advantage of.
Yeah.
And we'll be running through some of them. So, Prince, where would you like to set this from?
So we can start from the top. So you see, when you open your Gmail, so we are talking based on a laptop. So you open your Gmail, on the top right corner, you see something that looks like a boat. If I say a boat, I don't know how to explain this thing. It looks like a circle with some rough edges. Round. Engine. Yeah. Engine. On the top. That's the setting. And many people know how the setting icon looks like already. So on the top right is there. When you click on it, it will tell you to open the whole setting of your Gmail. Then you click on all settings. It just opens the settings. People usually don't go to that side of their Gmail. When they just get their Gmail, that's it.
It's a scary
Some
place.
people have never opened that site.
It's a very scary
It
place.
looks like a lot when you open that.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
important
It looks
things
very
there.
technical.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not actually technical. Yes, so don't be scared to open that section. And it's not like when you change something there, something will happen to your Gmail and all of that. You just go there. We'll take you through it one by one. So the first one had to do with the language. I mean,
But before that,
yes.
it's actually a 2-step process. If you click on settings, the first thing is your themes. Don't be excited about changing the picture background of your emails.
That's why I
Go
said
to-
you click on all settings.
Yeah,
so
you
that
have to
get
click on those
the-
settings. So if you are
Yeah.
lost, just go to those settings.
You click on the icon, it will open just a small panel on the side of the Gmail, and then you click on all the settings. Then the whole whole setting will open. Yeah, you see the language. By default, it will just pick your English. That's US. If you want to change to UK,
I don't know
it's
if
up to you.
tree
You
is there
can
or
just-
something.
There's no tree. You just change to that. Then the next thing will be phone number. That's basically the country. That one too by default. You don't need to touch it. And then the next thing will be maximum page size. So the maximum page size, when you open your Gmail, the number of email you see at once is the maximum page size. So maybe you can set it to 10, 20, 30, 50, 100. That when I open my Gmail, I should see the emails that I have. I should see as much as 30 or 100. I should be able to scroll to 100 before it gives me the option to go to the next page. Or I should do 10, 20, and so on.
Those
and
who wear
so forth.
glasses, those who wear spectacles.
Exactly.
Boozing emails. You have to open it.
Yeah. The next thing had to do with on send. The next thing you see is on send. On send is very important.
Very dangerous.
The truth of the matter is that sometimes you can write an email.
You regret
You
it.
can
You're laughing already.
Very dangerous.
you can check for corrections. You'll be certain that this email is just on point. What I want to write is just what I have written. And then you just click on send.
That's when
you
the mistake decides to jump at you.
I missed something. So, and by default, Gmail always set it to, let's say, 10 seconds or something lower. And so you have to go to the setting, go to the unsend side, and set it to the highest time they give you.
If
And
you're
the
a
highest time
dangerous
is actually 30 seconds.
30 seconds. You
Yes.
can't set it to 24 hours.
No, come on.
After the person has replied.
So set it to 30. I mean, 30 seconds I think is okay. Yes. So that when you send the email now, you are now looking at the email going, you are given a chance to go glance through it, and you see something wrong, you can quickly stop it before it sends. So that's one of the key things that you have to do with the unsend. Go and change your unsend to 30 seconds. Go. If you don't have your laptop now, please remember this. Tomorrow morning, when you open your laptop at work, change your unsend to 30 seconds. It's very
Like
important.
Samu was talking about the resignation thing.
Yeah. You resign and it's also.
You just click on resign and then like, nah, I've changed my mind.
Yeah, an email will pop up. Sorry, wrong email destination. I'm like, oh, after they employed me. After you start here, but
Yeah.
Oh, my days.
So that's the. I don't know if Samuel wants to go to the next ones. Okay, so the next thing is default reply behavior. So you have reply and reply all. So you have to check which one you want, but it's always important to check reply and not reply all. Maybe there. So when you check any of this, anytime there's an email and you want to click on the reply button, you see that if you chose reply here, even though maybe there are so many people linked to the email, it will just give you reply. You will have to choose reply all so that it goes to all of them. Yes. Sometimes you just want to send an email to just one person in an email thread, but because you've checked maybe reply all, people still end up choosing reply all, and the email goes to everyone when it's not supposed to be go to them. And also when you are even sending email to a group of people and you have just reply checked and you mistakenly click on reply and you sent something that is not good, or there are mistakes and all of that, you have only one person to deal with, to apologize, than using the reply all that might have gone to so many people that you might not be able to reach all of them to apologize. So that's that part of the default reply behavior. Sammy?
yeah, I would just advise, if you are someone who's very quick in answering emails and you know yourself as someone who is not like you are, for example, if someone offends you in an email and you're quick to reply and you are not sure of whoever is copied in it, especially when they're having a corporate environment and you sometimes want to deal with people directly. You get what I said, deal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Deal with people. Deal with people directly. You should probably check their reply so that you don't end up sending something that's, as you said, wide for everyone to see. Sometimes there's something, you realize, oh, but I sent you the email, something like that. You are just having a simple reminder or something. You may end up sending something that might not necessarily be good for the partners all the time. So reply or should be your secondary option, but reply should be the first, because usually we are engaging with the person as quickly as possible.
And of course there are different levels of professional relationships that we have with each other, and so the language you may use for one person may not necessarily be the one you use in communication to other people. So I see how this can be
it can be very dangerous sometimes.
That's true.
So the next one is Hoover action. So when we're talking about the star snooze button. We said you can hover on your email. So this one is also an option that you have to check at the what's the name? The settings section, so that you can hover around your email to see some of these things. So you need to go to your setting and check if you don't have it. But by default, they just check for you. Gmail check enable hover action for you, so you have that. So the other thing too is send and archive. Okay, so when you receive an email, you want to see send or archive the email. You want to see it at the bottom. Maybe, you don't want to see the email. You just archive it quickly, or you just click on send quickly to do what you have to do. This one too, you have to check. But they also do this hide, send, and archive. They do it by default for you, which is okay. You don't need that send and those things. The next part is default text style. This one too is just how you want your text to be seen, what fonts, style, and all of that.
Those who have been sending weird emails with the weird fonts, if you realize that the email is not going with the brand of your company, and they tell you that, okay, your emails are coming differently, you can go here and just change it. Because sometimes you leave your phone with a kid or something like that, and you end up having weird, messed up emails. This is the reason we're going through this, so that you understand each section. If you have any problem, you yourself can manually go there and change it. Don't take it to Circle Mall or something. Someone to work on your email for you. Why don't you go to your settings and just look at the email, the default email of the company, email font. You just go through it and select that.
Okay, so the next thing is image. You see image. It has always display external images and ask before displaying external images. This is very important, especially when it comes to hacking. There are hackers that send you enticing images that maybe your eyes will look at the image and not think about the contents of the image of the thing, and then you might click on it. Yes, so you can always check that. Listen, if an image is sent to me, let me confirm that I should see this image before I see it. Do you get it? And then it also has the option that, any image that comes through my email, open it up. When I open the email, let me just see the image. You can also choose that with the image section.
If you see that happen a lot in your spam section.
Yes.
All the images are blocked because they understand very well how much dangerous it could be. Because people are now using tracking systems, hacking of WhatsApp, your email, your bank account through just simple images that you just click on. Sometimes hide or hyperlink images that could have viruses in that one. So you click it, automatically downloads into the system, and then you have issues. If you're working in a professional set or environment where you realize that these things are happening continuously, you can have the whole company or whoever is working with you hide these things until you can trust the email coming from whoever. Then you just allow the image, because it will have an option where you say open image, and it will load the email again. Once you open and you trust it, the image will show.
I'm really learning a lot from this conversation, honestly. I thought I knew how to use my
email,
Google account, and my Gmail well, but it looks like there's a lot of these things that I need to go and check, especially the one, the unsent. One. I think I need to go.
You've been sending dangerous emails,
Oh my days. So this is an interesting conversation, honestly, and I'm really enjoying it. But for now, we all have those days when you are low on everything: energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have insufficient balance. All you need to do is to dial *506#, *506#. Go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you are low on airtime or data. Please remember, all T's and C's apply. Back to this very interesting conversation. But before that, let's read some messages. This one is coming from Benjamin. I think we lost that briefly, but we'll get into the conversation. Okay, I think we need to do this message. If we don't do, maybe Benjamin Comblan will
meet you
us
outside.
up. Yes, Benjamin says, "Good evening. Please, where can I get the program to listen to again?" In the last 2 weeks one, I guess I totally understand what you're saying.
So it's on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, it's on YouTube. So when you go to YouTube, you just type Joy Geek Squad and then add the date. So let's say today is 18th February. So Joy Geek Squad 18th February 2025. It will just, today's show will just pop up. Yeah.
Right.
You see it on Joy 99.5 FM's. It's 0.7, Joy 99.7, sorry. Joy 99.7 FM's YouTube channel. Joy 99.7. Joy 99.7.
I like how she said hey.
That's interesting. So if it was an email he had sent, he
just
had like
quickly,
some
30 seconds.
seconds
on send. Quickly.
on send. So that's what he did over
Yes.
there. Should we still keep going?
Yeah, I think we will
with the
just.
settings, or
There,
we should.
there are many of them that are just straightforward, but we'll just jump and talk about the signature one and then the vacation responder. I think these ones are very key because we don't have time.
Yeah.
Before that, let's play a game. Say signature. Let me say.
Signatures.
Okay. Say signature.
Signature.
Okay. So somebody saying signature.
What are we singing?
There's signature. Give me a signature.
singing?
I don't know.
So do you want to take the signature?
Okay. So I don't know if people have been seeing. You've been seeing these emails with this fancy bottom design and wondering if they paid Gmail for that.
Or they wrote it themselves.
Yeah,
with a pen,
like, how the
designed
hell
their
did
own
you
thing.
put all this nice banner at the bottom or some company logo or something at the bottom? There's a section where everyone can actually put their own what we call signature. We call that a signature. Their contact, your address, your website, and maybe the company logo or any banner that you have that can be a form of a summary of what your company does or a reference to your website. You can have it there. When you go to settings and you scroll down.
Signature.
So let's scroll down. Let's go to where the signature section is.
You scroll down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice that they have a box where you could type in whatever anyone needs to see, which includes adding an image, the text itself, and whatever. So, for instance, you can have your name, your role, and then maybe your address.
Your
being
work
there.
address.
Your work address. And you can customize it. You can bold in it. You can use any font that you need.
Yeah.
And then one thing that's very good about this is that you can, after you're done with this, you can use it as a format for the rest of your company. And if you have multiple companies, you can have different signatures that you could utilize.
Yeah.
So in that section, there's a left section where you could have create new, where you have different list of signatures, depending on who you're sending an email to. And on the right hand side, that's where you edit. So you can add an image by using there's a picture icon at the very, very bottom after the link icon. So you can click on that and you import an image, any image. It can be your picture, anything. Be professional. I mean, don't go and bring any upset image, professional. So usually it's like this. Your name, your occupation or whatever role you're playing, maybe the address of the company, it could be your website, and then the image of the logo of your company.
Yeah. And if it's your personal email and you don't want to always send an email and then go to the button and write kind regards and your name, you can just go there, just write kind regards, you press enter and then your full name. So when you are typing an email, it will just pop up automatically under your email. You don't need to now go back and go and add many thanks or blah blah blah. That thing will be the setting for you. So just write the email and send. When the person receive it, they will see kind regards and your name at the bottom. So you can use it for that. If you have a graphic designer, you can let them design a signature banner that you can also insert there, and then you can use it. One of the things that you need to remember is that when you create the email, it gives you option to create different emails, so you can always change which email you want to use at what time.
Signatures.
Yes, I
Different
mean
signatures.
signatures. So
yeah.
you can always choose which one you want to use at what time. But when you choose which one you want, you have to always go to signature default. So you see the signature section. After doing all of those things, you have to go to the signature default and change the name to that signature.
The name you
Yes,
gave, yeah.
I mean, while we are talking about it and you are just listening, it might be difficult, but if you are doing it as we speak, you see how easy it is. But you can always go back, play with those features on your laptop, and then you see how it goes. One important software you can use is called About Me. So you can just search About Me. About Me helps you to create things about yourself. Then you can they will help you to generate a link. Okay, it's just like Linktree, but About Me talks about you. Then you create a link, just copy the link and come in, paste the link at the signature section. So if somebody, if you, after you finish and you save it, if you send an email, you see that at the bottom of the email, your picture and then About Me link and your name will come. So if somebody wants to know about you, they can just click on it and it will open a whole page for you to see about them. Yeah.
Right. So I think it will be important to
Quick fixes.
talk about some other things like the Google Chats. We have a few minutes to get out of here, but we have some things that we haven't touched on so far. Let's do what we mentioned earlier with the vacation responders.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, responder, vacation responder. Going on vacation, and if somebody send you an email, basically, automatic email will come to them that you're away.
Okay, so usually you have a lot of people sending. If you have a business account, or you have an email that a lot of people like have communications through you. I mean, almost every day someone sends an email and they need a response, and you are no longer around. For a business, someone may think that you have even done them for 1 night. You do not want anyone chasing you whilst you're on vacation just to get you to tell the person that you're on break. So why don't you draft an email down just for the person to realize, okay, this guy's not around right now, and then you can get back to me later after this. So you can set different emails for
at a certain date.
Yeah. So if the person comes, you can turn it on by going to that last section of the settings.
Yeah.
There's vacation responder off and the vacation responder on. Then set a date for it and set the last date for it, and then give a subject and everything. So immediately someone sends an email, he gets a response back. Okay, I'm not available right now. You can contact me this, that, and this particular day. So the person's already in the known of what to do and when you come back to work.
It could also be an email of you telling someone or anyone that sends you an email that, listen, I'm traveling, so maybe my response might delay. It will come today, but it might delay. It's actually a very professional way to use the Gmail and being polite to people than they sending you emails and then you are away. And then you come later and say, oh, I was away. I mean, how would I know that you were away when you have this to use to tell me? Yeah. Right. So that's...
So finally on the Google Chats, how important is it for organizations?
Okay, so many companies are using WhatsApp to communicate. They form groups and all of that. And WhatsApp is entertaining a lot of people to do that because they are giving you more settings to be able to do that. But the thing is that when somebody leaves your company, they leave with some of these messages because you can take them out of a WhatsApp group, but they can see old messages. Yes. Yeah. But if you're a company and you're exploring using the Google Chat, which has every feature that WhatsApp has, and it's also professional, it keeps the staff focused on work than maybe they're on WhatsApp and then another WhatsApp from a personal account will come or pop up, and I mean they will just attend to it. Gmail chat is what you have to use. I mean, you don't have time now, but just explore it. Tell your technical people or your staff or people that know it to explore it, and then help. I've helped a company move all their stuff to Gmail chat. Now they are not using WhatsApp again because it was a distraction. Yes. Right. And I mean, if you're a company, you want us to come take your staff through some of these things, we are available. Just reach us on Geek Squad.
Right. So on that note, we draw the curtain on today's edition of Geek Squad on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm Kenneth Archidaka. I was sitting in for Adobia Brichum, your regular host. I was doing this today with Samuel Boateng, tech content creator with interest in digital trends, and producer for the show, extraordinaire, Prince Safo. Thanks for joining us for today's show. Have a good evening.